Hey everybody, Andy here.
And Clint.
And we're going to talk or recap Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 1 today. Ash let the Deadites out by
Accident. It
accident.
happens.
You know, he was just trying to get laid.
Worst poetry ever, but alright.
I don't know, some lady read me that. Or a man, even.
Klaatu
Stop!
Gotcha.
Then I wouldn't, yeah. I'd be all hot and heavy.
Yeah, that's true.
Probably not. Anyways, that's how it started. He was trying to get laid, so he decided to read the Necronomicon. Happens to everyone.
Yeah. And we get that amazing intro with the Deadites.
The lady, they had the whole scene with Amanda, how they introduced Amanda.
Yeah.
And her partner died, and then she...
I thought she was going to go totally crazy after that.
She didn't.
But she recovered quite quickly from that traumatic experience.
She went on an investigation spree, even though she was supposed to be on leave.
Yeah.
Her boss.
That
happens later. But yeah.
A slight side note. Do you think, like, when a cop boss says, "That's it, you're going on leave," that sometimes they actually do go on leave and not continue investigating?
Not in the movies.
Gotcha. Okay, just making sure.
Not in the movies. If you're told something in a movie, you do the opposite. Usually.
Makes
Otherwise,
sense.
it's not a movie. Otherwise, it's two guys sitting on a couch.
Reviewing movies.
Yeah.
Or TV shows.
TV shows.
Yeah.
Like, if my boss told me to go on leave, I think I'd be going anywhere but work.
Yeah. And then, after that episode, well, what happens at the end? I kind of forgot.
Well, that was the end. It's that turned into Sam Raimi heaven. He pretty much reenacted all the
sweet spin kicks and shotgun pop outs and
blowing up heads, and the gun flew out of the floor, and
we
they had the outline, the chalk outline,
good old
on
chalk
the wall.
outlines.
On the wall, what was it? A chainsaw? The chainsaw, right? It wasn't an axe.
You got to know where things go.
Exactly. Put it back later.
Yeah.
So.
And of course, we met Kelly and Pablo at the store.
Kelly and Pablo were
before that.
Bruce Campbell's co-workers.
Yeah.
Ash's co-workers. Because Ash is, working at... What's the name of the place in this one?
It wasn't...
It's not S-Mart.
No, it wasn't. It was like Value Mart or
Value Mart. It was too close to Walmart.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's probably what happened.
That's probably it.
Otherwise, why would you change it?
I liked it when he swept all the light bulbs under the pallet.
That's right.
Just stupid things like that in the series. It was like, yeah, it seems like something he would do.
That's exactly something he would do.
Yeah.
He had that. There had that weird scene with the baby doll in the back. In this
that was the first episode.
Was it? I don't know. We might be mixing episodes now, and that's all right. We're not going to go through episode by episode.
No.
But I guess we're kind of doing that for the first one. But that's how it starts.
Yeah, it starts. You get excited. You remember things.
You remember everything. But the reason I bring that up is because, Ash vs. Evil Dead is very practical effects. But then they used some CG, and that was the first time they used a CG.
Yeah.
Because they had the outline on the wall, and then all of a sudden there was like a projection of like scenes from the original Evil Dead movies.
Yeah.
And it was... Did you care about that? Did it bother you?
No, it didn't bother me. It filled me with nostalgia.
It did. But, yeah. It didn't bother me either.
I could see how it could bother some people, but overall, not too bad.
And how about in the whole thing overall? Like some of the scenes, like there's that demon that they called. It was definitely CG, obviously, or mostly CG.
Yeah.
That didn't bother me either. There's CG blood at times.
The CG blood is terrible, but you just kind of expect that. Yeah, it could have been better. Let's say that.
They ran low on buckets of blood.
Yeah, I mean, it's... Your actors get pissed off when that much blood goes around, from what I heard.
That's true. And we'll talk about that later in the last episode. I want to talk about that a little bit. But yeah, so that's the first episode, and Ash kills his old lady neighbor. That's like the epic fight scene with the gun coming out of the floor and the chainsaw.
Just like the witch in the Army of Darkness.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much exactly the same fight scene from what
it was
I remember.
like Sam Raimi writing that. He's like, I got to bring this back. I can do it again, and I could probably do it better.
It was wonderful.
Yeah. So the first episode obviously was directed by Sam Raimi and written by Sam Raimi. I think his brother is Ivan Raimi. His brother.
I believe so.
Yeah, he wrote that one too.
Did he? No.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And I don't think they wrote or directed any of the other episodes. I think they just wanted to set the foundation.
Yeah, I don't think they did either. They just set the course, and I believe the other directors did a fantastic job. There were some lulls, and there were some lulls. And there were some great parts like that. I think overall they did stay very well within what is expected in the Evil Dead franchise.
There wasn't, like you said, there was some, but it's 10 episodes, so it's really, what is that? It was 20 minute, or I think the first and last episode was 40.
Yeah, and the rest were like
so
30.
8 were 30 or 20. So that's a long movie if you put it all together.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get your lulls. That was first episode, and we had some sidebar conversations. Do you want anything you want to talk about in the middle?
I really enjoyed Ash sitting down at the dining room table with Kelly's mom.
Oh god, that was probably, I don't know if it was my favorite, but it was definitely up there.
It was definitely up there. That was so funny. There was
and it was she's a pretty known actress, isn't she?
Yeah, she's in a lot of things.
I don't know what she's in, but you see her around.
Yeah, she's
So that was kind of good to see.
It was hilarious.
It was perfect. It was perfect, Ash.
Him just being a total dick, and then a good slug to the face always gets him going. Apparently,
I was just, there was a little part of me that wanted it to be her just to be actually be normal, just to see what
make
happened.
Ash look like a bigger dick,
and then have like the dad be the deadite or something.
Oh, that would have been a good twist.
It would have been, but it's not what happens in these shows. So yeah, that dining room scene was amazing, and that's the first episode I think we actually see a lot of Ruby. Or am I wrong? After that, they leave.
I think she was just kind of tracking him down.
Yeah.
In that episode, but the next one with the books is when
maybe that was the beginning of the bookstore episode, or the end of the Kelly's mom's house. It shows Ruby cut the face off that one deadite.
That was the beginning of the third episode, I believe.
And that's like the first time you really see she had some conversation with the deadite. And you see that she has the knife still. I think that's the first time you see that.
Yeah, the good old dagger from...
what's it called? The Kardashian?
Yeah, Kim Kardashian.
Kardashian. Something with a K. I can't remember it. It's driving me crazy. Kandarian dagger.
Yes.
Or very similar.
Probably very close to that. I believe that is it.
So she shows that she actually had that. So that was interesting.
Yeah.
That's when you start seeing pieces from the old old movies showing back up. Besides the Necronomicon and Ash, obviously.
Yeah.
Going to Jacksonville.
So talking about that demon, even though the body was CGI or ish, and they did that shaky thing. I enjoyed the fact that they made the mouth stay the same, and they made
instead
it
of flapping around or blah blah blah.
Cool looking demon, I think.
I like that. I thought I was gonna hate it when I first saw it because
Yeah.
they had it in like the promotions and stuff.
Sure.
And I thought I was gonna hate it, but on it, that was pretty cool.
They did a good job with that.
And it's good it was because it was in like 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah.
So if it sucked, that would have sucked a lot.
Suckage.
It would have been double suck.
Yeah.
But I thought that that stop motion blurry whatever the heck it is they do. That was pretty cool. That might be why it was cool though. It might have been shitty. And then that made it...
Great way to cover it up, in my opinion.
It might have been. Anyways, we like that.
Yeah.
What happens after that? Ruby falls into like a fire pit at the end of that episode.
Well, you gotta mention that Kelly got possessed by that demon and was exorcised.
That's right.
And then
she tried to trick Pablo to smoking weed out of the shotgun,
which is another great scene.
That was a good scene between those two.
Yeah. Just Pablo being trying to be a nerdy romantic type, and she's just trying to be upfront and get him to kill himself, but to no avail.
No, but it's kind of a side note. I think they did a great job casting Pablo.
Yeah.
I got my questions about Kelly. I like Kelly, but I got some. They may have been able to do better with her, maybe not. I don't know. I kind of like her.
I think she fit the role pretty well.
But I think Pablo was like perfect. I think he's like a mini Bruce Campbell. He's great at that physical acting.
Sure.
Especially you can tell in that last episode where he's got the thing on his face.
Oh, the book on his face.
Book on his face. He's like, he does a great job, I think.
Yeah. And he's getting mad at the not the corpse, in the military episode with the compound where that guy's pinned to the tree with the dump truck, and he starts punching the shit out of it. That is absolutely hilarious. And blood spraying all over him, and he's just like...
Yeah. I think even more than Bruce Campbell. I think he got more blood all over him than Bruce Campbell did.
Definitely.
He was the new soaked in fake blood and out in the elements getting tortured actor of the series. But yeah, overall the acting was good. This is, again, we're getting off track. We keep going off and then coming back, but that's fine. Whatever.
Yep, that's
We're just talking. So, yeah, acting overall, good.
Yeah, I didn't see...
There wasn't anything that was terrible.
Those child actors at the end did a terrible job.
The dead children? I hated those things. So you liked them.
I liked them. They were creepy, but they were a little funny, too.
Yeah. I could see where you're coming from. Why you liked them. And he poked them in the eyes.
Yeah, they had the good old callback, and then when he got the one with the shotgun at the end.
Yeah, that was
absolutely awesome.
It's one of the cooler deaths of the series so far.
And the fact that he just like slides it off his knee and just like, all right.
I love how nothing affects Ash anymore.
Oh,
it never really did, but you'd think something would affect him eventually. Well, I shouldn't say nothing, because I guess in kind of goes ballistic in Army Darkness when his girlfriend.
Yeah. And in the first couple movies, he absolutely couldn't take it, and he goes absolutely insane when, like, the deer head and the lamp are laughing at him.
Yeah, and he's... That's one of my favorite scenes of the whole franchise.
Oh, that's awesome.
That goofy little nod to... It's Three Stooges, I think it would be. It might even be Three Stooges. It might be something
else. That's original, I believe.
Yeah.
Just good old-fashioned lunacy.
But yeah, all the killing, I guess, nothing phases him.
Well,
he's Ash.
He's done it for a while.
He has. He's a seasoned pro.
He is a veteran, that's for sure.
So, where'd we kind of leave off at? The demon, Kelly got possessed.
Pablo's uncle dies. Then Ruby gets dragged into the fire.
What about the necklace that his uncle gave him? It's done kind of like showing it, and at the end it showed the Necronomicon was kind of pulling it. Is that it though? Is there nothing else? Is that kind of just like a little gimmick thing?
That's a little thing, maybe for season 2. I don't know.
Or they just didn't know what to do with it. They're like, oh, this director or this guy wrote it in. I'm going to use it, and then all the other guys after were like, I don't know what to do with this.
No, I'll include it.
That could be.
I guess maybe they're saving it. Maybe it's like the game where like someone writes a sentence and then you pass it to the next person. They write a sentence. Eventually, someone might do something with that necklace.
Eventually,
hopefully.
Otherwise, it's kind of just
it was
pointless.
It was annoying me because they don't give it any anything. They don't explain it at all.
No,
not in the least.
But it's definitely...
It jumped out of the fire. Pablo wore it. It's attracted to it, and that's it. That's all you know.
Yep, that's it. So
Ruby...
Side note again.
Okay.
Sidebars. No, we just got done with the sidebar. Let's go back. Ruby got into the fire.
Yeah.
And obviously that's when you first find out that there's something going on with her.
Yeah, that's... well, you had
that she's not human.
Yeah, you had your suspicions that whether she was for or against Bruce. Like, she makes it sound like she's a good guy trying to stop Bruce's deadite things.
Yeah.
But then, like, you get your suspicions that she's not really trying to stop him. And then you kind of know that she has nothing to do with humanity after the fire is... And that's at least what I thought.
Well, before the skeleton pulls her in the fire, by the way, that was terrible CGI.
Oh, that was a bad one.
That skeleton was bad.
They should have... what they should have done is had, like, a Army of Darkness skeleton. Just had someone offset camera... She's walking by the fire, you know, and then someone just throws a skeleton at her, and she falls into the fire.
I forgot they did that. You could see skeletons just like... Oh man, I love Army of Darkness. I know that's kind of like the Black Sheep. People like the first one and second one the best. I don't know if I like it the best, but it's so much fun.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. There's just so much stupidness in the background of that movie.
No. That's real life.
But he says something like traitor, the skeleton or something. Not traitor, not like traitor. He wasn't the Star Wars traitor. Traitor!
Whappity whap.
God, he's my hero. That guy.
He is. He's amazing.
But he says something like that, right? The skeleton, like, you betrayed us or something.
I do not remember anything of that.
I'll have to go back and watch it. Yeah, it was a while ago. He says something before he pulls her into the fire.
Yeah.
And I guess I thought he said traitor or something like that, but it kind of doesn't make sense once you watch it all.
Yeah.
If she actually wrote the book, or it, or whatever she is.
Whatever, yeah. Ruby is masquerading as.
But I guess if she went, I don't know. That's another who knows thing, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
What happens after that? That's when they go to the compound, right?
No, they go to the diner first, and then Amanda's boss tries to arrest Ash.
That's right.
And it turns out poorly for him.
And Amanda finally figures out that they're trying to stop these things.
Yeah.
Which I really hated that in that bookstore episode. She didn't figure it out then.
Yeah. But I guess Ruby's influence is strong.
Yeah, I guess. Because that's right, they kind of teamed up for a while there.
Didn't even talk about how Ruby had Ash's hand.
She had Ash's hand all the time, and Ash's hand was telling her which way to go.
Go
that way.
That was pretty funny.
Over there. That was pretty funny.
So the diner, you get the Ash picking up on the waitress was pretty funny. They're hitting on the waitress.
Yeah. Trying to get them not pay the bill.
Yeah. And her husband's the cook. And
he crushes the mints in the sink so he doesn't stink. What? Does that work?
Yeah.
Yeah. It works for Ash.
Yep, it does. And then the Deadites come and everyone dies.
Everyone dies. Isn't there a part where some kid gets thrown up in the ceiling fan?
Yeah, there is that part too.
Ceiling fans can always
hold people.
There's
a little kid and he's like, that kid's gotta be safe. Nope. Thrown into a ceiling fan.
And for some reason in horror movies, ceiling fans are always strong enough to hold people up. Always.
Built reinforced with steel.
If anyone's ever put a ceiling fan up or even touched one, it's like bloop, bloop.
It's very true. And the blades aren't even usually on, they just fall off.
It's true.
Just kind of stuck in.
It reminds me of the Christmas Vacation, Chevy Chase, when he hits the little fan. When he's drinking his eggnog.
Oh, yeah, and everything collapses.
It just blows up.
Kelly was pissed at the end of that episode, I remember, and that was a good kill, where she took the Deadite to the meat slicer.
Oh, man.
And there's just blood flying everywhere.
And they're just kind of let her go.
Yeah. Let her get that aggression out.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
There was a lot of good deaths when you go back and think about it.
Yeah.
You could maybe do top deaths of the series, or the season.
Yeah.
I keep saying series, and it's not actually over.
Thank goodness.
But we could do that.
We could.
After that, then they go to the compound.
Then the compound, because Ash's old buddy was at the diner. He ran away and got dead-eyed.
He got dead-eyed by the creepy camera.
Yeah, the camera monster.
The camera monster. Which I Did they do a lot of that, or is that kind of sparse?
It's kind of sparse. They did it like in the third episode, I think, when they were I was following them to the uncle's place, and I think a little bit in the first episode as well. But not as much as the movies, I'd say.
Yeah. I guess you don't really know what it is, and it's kind of... They didn't want to overuse it, I guess, because... Gonna just do that to everybody in every episode? I guess that would be kind of
and why
repetitive.
It's a cool camera effect. I'd imagine it's somewhat difficult to do.
I was waiting in episode after that where they went to the cabin, or maybe it was 2 episodes later, where they're out in the woods with the hikers. I was waiting for the Ash camera where they spin around.
Oh, where they put it on his chest
and they shoot him and run him through the...
Backwards,
through the forest backwards and spinning and stuff. I was waiting for something like that to happen, but they didn't do it.
No. What else I thought was for sure going to happen was that the plants would kill some people in the woods.
There was no plant rapage.
Yeah, no plant rapage. So sad. I mean, if his old girlfriend's head is still in that vice, those trees have got to still be out there. Yeah. They probably haven't changed their mind about rape.
No, they're still... rape happy,
They're
sure.
Pretty touchy-feely.
Touchy-feely. And that's another, Amanda got dead-eyed.
Dead-eyed? Yes.
Dead-eyed.
That's a word now.
Yeah, it is. You made it up. Copyright. Stamp. Trademark.
Dead-eyed.
She, was the puppets?
The puppets were wonderful. And that poor sister.
Yeah. And then Ruby came flying out of the trees to confirm that she's
super
mystical.
Definitely.
And save them. It's like she could just kill everybody probably, and she never really did. So you could kind of feel that she maybe wants to not just be like this evil person. Because why wouldn't she just kill everybody?
A lawful evil.
It's I don't know what it is.
You've seen those squares, right? Where it's chaotic good, chaotic neutral, chaotic evil.
She's a little more towards the middle.
She's like the lawful evil, where she's got rules to follow, but she's not just going to kill everyone.
For no reason. She's not psychotic.
Yeah. Well, she needed someone to cut the face off the book, apparently.
And it had to go on someone else's face, apparently. I didn't get that either. But whatever. It's cool.
Yeah.
But whatever. I guess it went on her face and she could control him. Maybe it was a semi-mind control. Because Pablo was doing what she said, and then he wouldn't.
Sure, but the only reason that happened is because of the necklace, so maybe that's what the necklace was for?
Yeah. I never really said it like you said, but maybe you're just kind of implied that it's like a spiritual necklace. It's protecting him, kind of.
But it's not. It's pulling him directly into harm.
Yeah, it was pulling him towards the Necronomicon.
Yeah. Please
go in.
But I like how Ruby's trying to make that whole cutting the face off the Necronomicon like a ceremony of sorts. And Ash is like, alright, let's do this. He just cuts it off, throws the face on the floor.
Flicks it.
She's like, alright, present the book to me. He's like, well, I kind of like it, but here you go.
Yeah. Ash can just be fucking stupid. So dumb. The whole time, Kelly and Pablo are telling him to just not do it.
Yeah.
Those last 2 episodes, don't do it, I don't like this.
Yeah.
And he just keeps doing whatever he wants. But he's good at killing Deadites, so I could see why you keep following him.
Yeah, and
it's probably the safest place to be.
I liked when Ash meets Ruby in front of the cabin, and Ash is like, I've been kicking Deadite butts for 50 years, or probably 30 years, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And Ruby's like, and you put a chainsaw in your hand. Good job. Who cares?
Yeah, great. I wrote this book. We didn't know it at the time, but...
Yeah.
So, and then we get the cellar scene. I knew they were going to go down the cellar at some point.
Yeah.
And they actually had a little part where they had a little homage to the... Was it the first one or Evil Dead 1 or 2 where they showed the little flashback to the overall guy? Buried in the cellar. Or not buried, just laying there in the cellar.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool seeing a little thing nice, like that. And then you get the creepy kids.
Little Stooges eye pokes.
Little Stooges eye pokes.
And Kelly's fighting the house outside.
Kelly's outside fighting the house in the rain. I was waiting for the house to come alive a little bit. It was, but...
It was pretty alive.
I was waiting for, like, a face, like in Evil Dead 2.
Now, with the house, do you think the shed's part of the house? Like, let's say the house is the head and the shed's like a hand over it?
I think so, because...
Then why would the shed let Kelly grab stuff out of it in order to burn down the house?
I don't know. Because it was raining out and the house is like, go ahead, try to burn me down. Whatever, it's raining.
It is a pretty smart house. I'll give you that.
Go ahead, try. Waste the gasoline. That's what the house was thinking.
Yeah.
So, yeah. The head... Do you think that was actually the actress? The same actress?
I was wondering that, and I don't think it was, but they looked remarkably similar. Either they did a good job with makeup, or they did a good job with makeup and it's the same actress.
Possibly.
Because she was in the first one, it was a different girlfriend from the second one.
Yeah. But they didn't do the head voice in both. I'm kind of mixing them up now.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I think the head voice was in the second one.
I believe you are correct.
So... I don't know. And pretty much the second one is pretty much a remake of the first one. Everyone knows that. Even though they say it's not.
So, yeah, I mean... I just went back to that same cabin that I killed a bunch of people at with my new girlfriend.
But if you listen to
hoping things would be different.
Yeah, but if you listen to the commentary in the second one, Bruce Campbell says that it's not a remake. But it is. Sorry, Bruce.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he would have like said something or been ready for something, not turned on the red eye, and that can. It's totally a remake. But whatever.
It's fine.
Yeah. Then she's reading. She's writing passages and ripping pages up and burning them and writing new ones in the
with Pablo's puking up babies.
Oh, that was so gross when he puked that up. He's spitting out blood, and they have like. Angles right underneath them, so you see this like...
Yeah.
That was pretty gross, but it was good gross.
It was good gross.
Nothing looked fake, really.
No. It looked very eggy.
Mm-hmm. And then Ash comes in and shoots her a couple times, you're like, oh, that was easy.
Yeah.
And he even said it was easy.
Yeah. And of course he doesn't like... Kill her. He just shot her in the chest a couple times, which works on all Deadites, apparently.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wait. Never has.
Never has.
Yeah.
But she's not really a Deadite.
That's true.
She's something else. And then Pablo tries to stop her, but... I mean, stop Ash. He kind of like...
Right.
Because he's still possessed.
Yeah.
Then Kelly shows up, and everyone teams up, and then she gives him the Jacksonville proposal. And after a little contemplation... And I guess, an episode of thinking about it, or half an episode.
Yeah.
He decides to take the offer.
Yeah.
Which is...
Going to Jacksonville.
Just get in your car and drive away is pretty much the offer.
Yeah. That is pretty much the offer. You don't have to deal with this anymore. But you're going to have to deal with this later.
Yeah. Just not right now.
Yeah.
And that's how it ended. And I haven't watched anybody else's videos on this, but I'm sure a lot of people hated it. They had to do it to keep it going.
Sure.
Either that or everyone had to get sucked in time and have a Army of Darkness.
I woke up too late. I slept too long.
It's the only way they're going to have another season.
Yeah.
So, I guess they had to. I guess they could have ended it so much better, of course.
They could have had him, summon, this amazing angry demon.
Yeah.
That, warp them out of there, or pretty much anything, but just guess we'll go to Jacksonville.
But you do have your comedy, and it was funny.
It was funny, and
it's just not a...
While it's stupid for Ash to do, I don't think he'd give in to evil that way. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I don't think...
Because he's usually pretty stubborn about that stuff.
Well, he did think about it quite a bit.
He did.
It was the second time she offered it to him.
He's getting kind of old.
Was it the second or third time she offered it to him?
Might even be the third.
Because she did it in like a dream sequence.
Yeah, and then she offered it.
Did she do it in front of the house too, or did they just talk in front of the?
They just talked in front. Okay. It was only the second time.
Second time.
But yeah, he's no young guy anymore. Like before he went in the cellar, he took the black polish and covered up that gray.
He did. The gray. I'm gonna have to remember that if I ever start getting gray, which I think I might be a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna just carry it around and do that.
Just polish.
Does anybody actually get just gray on the sides of their head? Like.
Yeah.
Like what's the boss's name in Spider-Man? It's a gray on just the sides with he's got the mustache. What's his name? Who does anybody ever do that? I've never seen a guy with just gray on the side.
Sure.
Okay. I believe you. I've just never seen it. I've seen
exactly 4 or 5 fictional characters with that.
Fictional characters, not. I'm talking about real people.
I know you are. It could happen.
Anyways, so that's how it ends. Give or take, it was a good ending. It wasn't a great ending, but I'm okay with it. I'm not
thrilled.
I'm not thrilled, but I don't hate it or anything.
Yeah, I'm not 100% against it. I give it about a 20% on likability.
Out of 100?
Out of 100. But I still like it.
So wouldn't you would you do like a 60% then? Does it have to be at least a D?
Alright, 60% likability.
Okay.
With 50% being completely meh.
Yeah. You knew that there was
65.
You knew there wasn't going to be a definitive ending.
Yeah, because they had another series coming out. What are your thoughts? What do you think's going to happen?
Good segue. Look at that.
Professional pro.
Well, they're driving to Jacksonville. Do you think they're actually going to get there?
The way the earth was falling apart behind them, I don't think they're going to make it out of Michigan.
Do you think they'll get over the bridge that leaves the cabin? Do you think they'll bring the bridge back? Do you think it'll be curled up like in the movies?
Yes, I do think they'll make it past that. I think they're going to get to a town, and it's going to be FUBAR, and they're going to have to take care of it, like Ash always does.
And then it's just going to start all over?
Drag them right back into it. And then I believe they'll hunt down the kids one at a time, and I'm sure the kids will turn into different demons that have
So you think those kids were going to be a big part of the second season?
Yeah, I think it's going to turn into like a Scooby-Doo type thing where they have to hunt down each individual kid.
That would be a good premise, because right now I really don't know where they're going to go.
Yeah.
I have no clue what they're going to do. But if those kids... Because I did not like those... I thought these kids... I was like, what? I don't understand these kids. What's this have to do with Ash vs. Evil Dead? There's usually like people that are dead and they come back to life, but there's not kids getting puked up.
Sure. Those are baby demons.
Baby demons. And if that's what they are, that makes a little more sense.
Yeah.
And they'll have to track them down. You did see the one run up the wall and climb through the soil and run away.
Yep.
So...
And
he only killed one.
Like 5 or 6 ran past Kelly when she was heading back into the house.
And find the dead kids that probably transform into something.
Yeah, I am assuming they're gonna... If I were to do it, which I'm available.
You're gonna write all... how many episodes I didn't look? It's probably gonna be 10 again, huh?
Yeah. I am available to write one episode. But anyway, each individual kid would turn into a distinct demon with different... I'm sure they all control Deadites, but maybe do it in different ways. Or have different obstacles for the team to overcome.
There was a couple in the Necronomicon when they were flipping through it during the book episode, the bookstore episode, and they picked that one because they thought it looked like the weakest.
Yeah.
But I think you see a couple other ones. Maybe they're like 10 in there or something like that. And
I didn't think about this before, but those kids could easily be that CGI shaky demon. They're very similar. They're humanoid.
They could. So, if that's what happens, that would be cool. But like you said, I really didn't know. I didn't know what they were going to do. I was talking to you today. I was like, I don't know what's going to do with this season next. I don't know what they're going to do besides the same thing over and over again that they've been doing. And I think people would get sick of that pretty quick. Yeah. Even though it's Ash killing Deadites, I think people still would get sick of it.
Lots of TV shows are somewhat repetitive when you think about it. And they've got good running times. So if enough people enjoy the Deadites, and it's not so much about the Deadites as Ash is being stupid.
In his witty comments that are really not witty, there's a complete asshole.
Yeah. Just him being himself.
Complete asshole. And so, yeah, I hope that's what happens. That's a good idea. Stars, you, do that if you're not going to.
Yeah.
Or writer of episode 11, there you go.
Or better. Or do better than that. It's just it's something fun.
What, are you good at writing? What did you get in English in high school? College.
How about high school? B's. College?
Let's not talk about college. All right, so you got anything else? Any little tidbits? Any morsels that you want to talk about?
I like the interaction between the three main characters quite a bit. And it always worked out pretty well. They played off each other quite nicely.
I agree. I think they did good casting with those two.
I like Ruby as a villain. She's intelligent and the opposite of Ash.
She is the opposite of Ash. She's very cool and collected the whole time. She did seem a little skittish at the end, but she was trying to quickly write.
Yeah.
And do whatever the heck she was doing.
And she'd been shot.
But the rest of the thing, she was pretty okay, let's go this way, follow them. We're gonna get them.
Not blundering around.
Blundering, yeah. So.
Those are my thoughts.
I think I said everything.
Overall grade?
Overall grade, out of 10? Or not percentage? We're doing your percentage, your D. I'd say overall percentage, if I had to compare it to the movies, the movies, I give all three of them, I like them all equal, or I'd give them all the same grade, but for different reasons.
Okay.
I'd give them all a 95, 90-ish.
Yeah.
All three of them. And this, I'd say, is probably about an 85. I liked it, but not as much as the movies.
Sure. Do you think that has to do with it being a television series?
It's probably the running time, because I'm kind of viewing it all as one piece.
Yeah.
Since this is a recap of the whole series. If I did each episode, I'm sure there'd be one or two that, especially that first episode, and probably the one where they go to Kelly's parents' house. Yeah. I'd give those ones pretty high grades.
That was a great start to the season.
Yeah. But overall, I'd say 85%. So B, solid B.
I'd be with you on that. And I'm definitely going to watch the second season.
Yeah.
Am I going to buy Stars to watch it? I don't know. Are you?
I'm not. I found out you can get the episodes through Amazon Prime. You just got to pay a Stars subscription through Amazon Prime, and it's a little cheaper.
Okay.
So I'm going to do that next year probably, as long as they're still offering it when this comes out. So I'll save myself $5-10.
Nice. Good deal.
Good deal. But I will subscribe in some shape or form to watch them again. And you're probably not going to subscribe because I'm going to subscribe.
Someone's got to do it. Might as well be you.
Oh, yeah, that's it. All right, so 85, I'm subscribing. Next season, we both like it. There was nothing I really hated about it.
Yeah.
And we're kind of just repeating ourselves over again.
See you later, everybody.
Hey guys, thanks
for watching. We're going
to
Jacksonville.